Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? I am just getting off another early day from work, so don't really have much to do, and I don't want to go back to the house. So I kind of want to go over some of the exercises that I do while I am in the car in order to just be a little bit more productive and to fight old compensation patterns. What you're seeing right now is me taking lefts and rights. Just making the fucking phone drop and go back. Oh, it almost went that time. But yeah. So I do a lot of this stuff in the car just to sort of, challenge those old compensation patterns and to prevent my body, forgive me for being so tired, and to sort of like forgive my body, just to help it out a little bit, turning something that used to be an opportunity for my body to lock back up instead into an opportunity to fight that. When you can turn a negative into a positive, you're getting twice as much out of it than, ordinary. Let's say that. If you turn a neutral into a positive, that's from 0 to 1, but you turn -1 into +1, that's a difference of 2. That's my point. That's how I think about it. We're getting close to getting to a good stopping point here. One thing that I like to do, which you can already tell, and this is a classic, is putting the right arm behind the seat next to you while you're driving so that you can, stretch out that side. Now there are nails over here. I wonder if these guys have a budget for fucking nails and tires, man. Some sort of like special insurance policy. They're building houses over here. I really am tired, man. It's starting to hit me right now. I'm gonna here, let's just go. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. I just got to know. I just got to know. I just got to know. I gotta know. How big are those titties, lady? I want to squeeze them. All right. Oh, wait. No. We want to stay closer to this side. That's right. Use the little backup camera just to see how close we are. Boom. There you go. All right. So, take off this little seat belt. Nice little parking spot. Stretches that you can do in your car. We will do... let's split it up into 2 sections. There is the stretches that you can do while you aren't driving, and then there are these stretches that you can do while you are driving, okay? Not all of these are going to be stretches. I really don't... I do know what I do. I'm just retarded to the point to where it's like, I know how to do it, but I don't know how to teach it. So it's like right now I start to trip over my words because I want to be specific so that you understand me, but in me trying to be specific, I realize I don't actually know what I'm talking about. So it's like there's a fucking barrier, dude, and it is so frustrating. So I need to learn this stuff. But let's start off with the things that you can do to keep it broad while you are not driving. Number 1, just fucking sit up in your, you know what I'm saying? This is nice for the knees, man. If you've been working all day and shit like that, take off the shoes. Make sure your socks are clean. Don't be dirty about this. You know what I'm saying? And just right up in here. There you go. Chill out a little bit. Now, of course, you could do some stuff outside of the car. That would be better. But this is like, for example, if I'm taking a lunch break or something like that, and I'm going back to my car, let's say it's too loud inside, or there's just too many people, I'm kind of just looking for my own little quiet space to chill out. I might go to my car, and while I'm in my car, I might do this. And, oh, what do you know? My ankles are getting a little stiff, so let's just, boom, stand the ankles, you know, get them straight like that. And then just, there you go, stretch the toes, stretch the ankles, get back down into that squat, and just chill out right here. You know? Now, the bad part about doing this in a car is you are a little cramped up. So I'm not as, you know, symmetrical as I would like to be. And the only thing you can really do about that is just be aware of, and don't overthink it. If this could just be something that's like limited to me, to where I tend to overthink things. So I need to be more, you know, conscious to keep myself grounded. So it's like right there, I feel like my body's not symmetrical, so I'm like kind of overthinking, and I'm trying to sort of like shrink myself, but do it in a way that doesn't cause tension. I noticed that I really have horrible habits of whenever I'm trying to fit, like whenever I'm trying to shrink myself, or whenever I'm trying to reach for something or twist in a weird way or just do something different, I tend to create tension. I tend to start breathing in ways that are not natural, but it's like not proper. You know, my breathing is no longer proper. You know, my breath isn't guiding my movement anymore. Probably because it's just like a new movement that I'm not really familiar with, you know, or I'm just not thinking, and I'm just like, this needs to get done. Don't even worry about, you know, doing it, you know, smooth as fast, fast as smooth, or, you know, don't worry about none of that. Just get it done. And whenever I'm in that mode, I definitely start to build up a lot of tension. But if you're not somebody who has a problem with that, then don't even worry about it, okay? I'm just at the stage where I'm starting to see how important breath work is, and just how involved it is in literally everything that you do, to the point that it's like, it's kind of almost redundant to say that you do breath work to a certain extent, because breath work is fucking everything. So I don't know, maybe there's like a level, you know, to where it's like level 1, you're just starting out, you're a rookie, you don't even know how to use the diaphragm, you don't even know how to breathe properly, let alone connect your breathing to your movement. That's not even possible for you. You haven't even reached level 2. Let's say level 2 is where you're just starting to learn how to use the diaphragm, but there's still tension, and there's still, you know, clearly room for improvement. Your diaphragm is still weak. There's still tension in your abdominals, in your back, or somewhere in your body that is limiting your diaphragm from, or limiting your belly from expanding outwards, so that your diaphragm can push down and then use your lungs as a vacuum to suck air in. You're not breathing in, you are pushing down and creating a vacuum to suck air in. That's how you breathe. So level 2, I would say, is like you're just starting to use your diaphragm, but it's still a little weak. There's still tension. Level 3 is you're now starting to connect that breathing to rhythm. Your diaphragm feels more responsive, more reactive. You can feel that there is strength in it now. Although it is not strong, there is strength there, instead of it just being like almost impossible to use. That's an exaggeration. But instead of like the diaphragm being something that you have to like consciously think to really activate and use, now you're connecting it to rhythm. and you're noticing an increase in response time. You're noticing an increase of what feels like power in the diaphragm, and how you literally feel more connected to your breath. I would say level 4 is kind of, I'm between level 3 and 4, I feel like. I think I'm between like level 3 and 4. I feel like level 4 is, and level 5 is max. You don't even do breath work anymore at level 5. You just are always doing breath work. So there's no point in even saying you do it. You know what I mean? So level 4 to me is like somebody who their breath is now pretty much connected to movement. They are like 95% of the way there. Like at this point, they're pinching for pennies. That's what their breath work looks like. But I would imagine this person having a strong, responsive diaphragm, having abdominals that don't carry any tension whatsoever, a almost perfect mind muscle connection with your abdominals, with your, transverse abdominals, with your diaphragm, all of those muscles and whatever working together in order to allow you to breathe. They are now seamlessly working together. You don't even have to think about it really. But it's still not perfect. It's good. It's great, but it's not perfect. And then I think what I believe level 5 is just somebody who was at level 4, was pretty much already there, but still took it just a little bit further. Maybe they started doing breath work underwater, which I've done that before, and I've noticed really cool results. Either it's somebody who did that, or maybe they started doing, training their diaphragm with weights, or, just started, yoga, including yoga in there, just including all of these things that, just sort of push it to its limit, that sort of unlock another door. That's where you get to level 5, to where now it's like, it's just natural. You don't do breath work anymore. At this point, you do it more so, I would assume, as like a point of type of meditation at that point. I feel like when you're at level 5, you do breath work as meditation, but not really for benefits or results. You've already reached that. I think I'm in between level 3 and 4. A little over a year ago, 16 months ago, I started doing breath work and like starting to train the diaphragm. So it takes a while, but you'll notice as you go further just how freaking important this stuff is. It sounds dumb. You think it's stupid. I thought it was stupid, well, not stupid. I thought it was cool, I'll say that. But I didn't do it because you see other things that are cooler, It's the shiny things that catch your eye. And although breath training and, all that stuff was really cool, like, oh, Navy SEALs jumping in water and doing all this, learning how to control their mind or just, control their breath, control their mind under pressure, underwater, because if they didn't, they'd fucking die. That's badass, okay? But what's also badass is doing fucking push-ups, pull-ups, getting some muscle on your body. At least that's what you think whenever you're like 16 years old, What I think now is that it's all important. You shouldn't skip anything. Why do we have to pick and choose, Your body is a machine. Your machines have many parts, and these parts all need to be in good condition in order for the machine as a whole to function properly. Not just properly, but to function in the way that it was designed to, it's like a Lamborghini, one that's been sitting in the shop for 30 years versus one that just had some work done on it and had a nice tune-up. I don't know, but you understand the point. It is getting hot in here, dude. It's turning this damn car into a sunroof. But there's the breath training part, and just why I think that is really cool, really exciting, and extremely important. Because you genuinely, I really don't believe you can create true, pure athleticism without breath training. I don't think it's possible. I don't believe. I think you can become athletic. You might even be able to become like a world-class athlete. I have no clue. I don't know when it comes to that. Because the thing that I hate about athletes and all this shit, and this is a me thing, or a society thing, so really just a me thing, because if you know what the problem is, then you are the problem. Because if you know what the problem is and you still can't, figure everything out and get the ball rolling, you're the one who's at fault, because you know. So it's like a society problem and a me problem. But athletes really don't fucking talk about like what they do in order to get healthier, at least not in depth. Nobody tries to teach that stuff. Nobody really focuses on it, which is kind of mind-blowing, because you would think, look at how much these guys get paid. Seriously. And not just that, look how fucking athletic these guys are, man. These guys are in great shape. Serious, and they age, I was gonna say well, but I feel like you look at a lot of those old timers, man, they get fat. They get fat. So I don't know. But I'm thinking of NBA here, by the way, which makes sense. I mean, a lot of those guys are like, I don't know, 6'8", some shit. I can see how it's hard to stay lean when you're, that big, that tall, maybe. But anyways, it's like you don't see how these guys train. You don't see what they do. They don't talk about it. What you do see is the celebrity trainers, and I train this person and this athlete and this athlete, and then you watch the celebrity training video and it's bullshit. And then you watch other videos which are actually, what I would consider more athletic style type of workouts, and I feel like even they don't really include everything. And I'm not just talking about like one video. I'm talking about whenever you look at a series of videos, it doesn't really seem like they include everything, though they do include some of the workouts. But I don't know. I think I'm just talking about bullshit right now. I really think I'm just wasting my time talking about this. I'll just say this, right? In American culture, in an American society, real exercise, real like focusing on health and longevity, athleticism, like things that will last for the rest of your life and are actually good for you. It's good for you to be an athlete. It is good for you. It's not hard on your body. People are scared because they think injuries or who knows, but it's not bad. It's better, because as an athlete, you're learning to use your body. And if you can just train like an athlete trains, and then throw in yoga, active recovery, and just a bunch of light work throughout to like sort of recover the body and make sure that the joints are always in tip-top condition, to make sure that your tendons are good. It's not just all about the muscles. It's like you want everything to always be good, which is the point of doing active recovery. That's the point of doing yoga. That's the point of doing breath work, is so that whenever you do go in to lift weights, whenever you do go to lift heavy, everything's perfect. There's no problems at all. You have no joint issues, no pain. Everything's just fucking working properly. That's why I really do believe if you do all of that stuff at the same time and train like an athlete, you'll get that. But I don't know, my obsession with breath work needs to chill out. I'll say that. I need to come up with like phrases that I can say and just resort to those instead of trying to like explain it every single time and doing a horrible job. Like one of the sayings should be, movement should always be connected to breath. Rhythm is movement. Let me check my phone. I think this shit's about to die.